Do it again.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Banana.
Banana who?
Banana,
That's funny. Okay, so for this video, we're going to talk about... My kids don't actually drive me crazy, but I want to talk about that mindset for women. And this will be a short video because we're out hanging out at the park, at the playground, little playground by our house. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi. We're just making a video.
So at the playground there's chalk.
We do have chalk, that's right.
Yeah.
What did you draw?
Okay. Yeah, we'll draw a line.
You drew a line? Okay, so the reason I want to talk about this is, well, it's something I've been considering and kind of walking through for myself for a while. And I want to do another video talking about feminism and the very subtle programming that is kind of part of the feminist movement, like the downside of the feminist movement. There's a lot of good things about it in some ways, like female empowerment is good, like women getting the right to vote, those kinds of things are very good, like the invention of things that make women's lives better is obviously very good. But there are downsides of it in that it's like we're programming young women to lose their motherly instinct, which is something I've been walking through and having to rebuild and reconnect with that part of being a woman that allows me to be able to mother really effectively with patience and understanding and caring. And then kind of building beyond that instinct into something that actually fundamentally supports my kids to do even better, right? So, hey Max. He's just playing in the water. Which is fine. It's fine for them to play in the water. I just wanted to check. That's why you bring extra clothes and you prepare and you let your kids have fun and enjoy themselves. But I'm just, because you went kind of far away. Okay, so, but the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because twice yesterday, I was speaking with a dad who we know, who was talking about his wife having a lot of challenges with raising the kids and being at home, and her kids are about the same age as Max and Seneca, and just really struggling with that, like kind of the boredom of it and wanting to go back to work and just kind of struggling with that whole thing. And then I also overheard this conversation at another playground that we were at, where the mom was talking about, in front of her kids, saying that if she had to stay home with him all day, she would go crazy. So they were looking at schools, and he was the same age as Max. And the reality is, a lot of women my age were impulsed with this point of, if you had to be a stay-at-home mom, you would go crazy. Like, there's not enough excitement, there's not enough enjoyment, there's not enough stimulation and all of this stuff. And so I won't go into all of the details around that, but I will say that the best way, like, that doesn't go away just because you go to work now. You're going to face that point of your kids require structure in their life. And the absolute best way is for you to provide that for them.
Hey, Mom, I just need a piece of around there into the water and peed and then came back.
That made sense. Are you taking your shoes off now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sprayed.
So you can get sprayed?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, because school provides structure, but it also provides a lot of other things along with it that are not supportive for kids. Because it's a very forced, artificial structure that doesn't give a lot of space for their creativity. Yeah.
More sprinklers.
Where are they on that side now?
Yeah.
These sprinklers are not very effective. They're getting the concrete all wet. But if you can provide the structure for them at
What do
home,
you expect of me?
then you can really give them a lot of space for their creativity. Yes, what's
What
up?
do you expect of me?
What?
What do you expect of me?
Expected? Oh, did I say a word? What word did I say?
There's some sprinklers and more sprinklers.
Go check them out. Go see.
Let's go check them out.
Go check them out. I'm gonna finish this video and then we'll go, and then I'll go over there with you. Okay? I'm almost done. This is gonna be a short one. I always say that. Oh, okay. So you can provide that structure with them at home. You can give them a lot of space for their creativity. So, for example, let me give you an example of that. Like Max has been really interested lately in playing the piano, and he's getting really, surprisingly like really good. He'll go up to the piano and play the same 3 or 4 notes, and then play them in another octave, and like play the same set of notes and play them in another octave, which is, I mean, it's not that complex, but it's really cool because I don't ever sit around playing with him on like trying to get him to play the piano in that way. That's all coming from him, which I think is really cool. And you know, he has the space to be able to do that during the day when that works. And we still have structure. We still have a structured day. But there is a lot of freedom within it too, which is how a structure should be. It shouldn't be this artificial force, like you go from classroom to classroom to classroom. And it's really interesting because we live right next to a school. This is actually a playground. Like the school's right over here. There's 2 schools. And so we always hear the bell go off. And Max and I talk about how, like, what does the bell mean? Well, it's when kids go from class to class to class. And so we'll talk about, like, why is that? And every single one of us who was in public school knew what that was like, to have to get shifted out of your focus to go to another class, and to kind of anticipate. You either didn't want the bell to ring or you really, really did, like you wanted to get out of class. And that's done very specifically. It's structured like that for a reason, to break attention artificially. So, and to kind of disjoint the classroom, you know, to disjoint the kids and their focus. Huh? Disjoint the kids? Disjoint means to like fracture apart. That's one way of defining that. But we can ask Alexa too when we get home to define it more for us. We do that all the time. Cindy's over here playing. What else is really cool is, like, when you stay at home, you can give your kids, like, she's needed more space to kind of investigate and go out and look at things. And but so the whole concept of your kids are going to drive you crazy, you're going to have to face that. And the very best way to face it is to be around them more and to challenge yourself within that of not yelling, never harming them, and like investigating ways to deal with your internal stress and anxiety when you're around them. Because that stress and anxiety is not going to go away just because you get your workout in, or you go to work or something like that. That stuff is within you, and you can support it to go away though, and your kids can support you within that too.
Why didn't they turn them on?
Huh?
Why didn't they turn them on at Monday?
I'm not sure why they turn them on at this time on Monday. Maybe they figured not a lot of people are going to be here, even though we tend to be here at this time. So we always see the sprinklers turn on.
Why thinking that there's not a lot of people going to be here?
I'm not sure. Maybe they think people are going to be at work and at school on a Monday morning, or Monday early afternoon, Monday late morning.
Well, why are we not?
So anyways,
Why are we
your kids, if you feel like your kids are driving you crazy, that's within you. It's not them, it's you. And that's a challenging thing for people to say, because they'll be like, oh, but my kids do this and they do that and they do this. You know, they're hurting each other, they're hitting each other, they're always asking me for food. We always, the whole mom thing is to complain about all this stuff. But the reality is, the reason it stresses you out is within you.
Sometimes on Monday, there's a lot of people.
Really? What, maybe later on in the evening, there would be a lot of people here. Because when people get off of school or they get out of work, they come to the playground with their kids sometimes. More on the weekend, not so much on a Monday. So if you want to experience bliss with your kids, if you want to enjoy them and be with them, you're going to have to push through that hard part, which is that feeling that your kids are driving you crazy. And when I say push through, it's not just, you just force it through. There's tools that you can use to support yourself. And really, a lot of those tools, though, require you to face things, right? To really face what's going on. So...